Good morning. It is February 10th, 2019. This morning I read Micah chapter 7. Micah is one of the minor prophets in the Old Testament. This is the last chapter in the book of Micah, and it has 20 verses. And at the top of my Bible, on top of each page, it has like a little, I guess like just a short description of what is on this page. And this says, sorrow for Israel's sins. And so I started reading, and believe it or not, sounds a lot like today. You'll see what I mean. We're going to look at, I'm going to read a few of these verses so that you can, when I get to my point, you'll be able to understand it better, okay? We're going to start in verse 2. It says, the good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net. Okay. So he's saying, for the most part, all the good people are gone. You know, unless you have Christ living within you, you know, these people lie in wait for blood. They're not upright. They don't do right. And they even look for ways to trip up their brothers, their family. I mean, it's crazy. Does it sound like today yet? Verse 3. That they may do evil with both hands earnestly. The prince asketh, and the judge asketh for a reward. And the great man, he uttereth his mischievous desire. So they wrap it up or weave it together. He's talking about here where people in charge can be bought. That is so prevalent in our government right now. The big corporations. It's a whole nother conversation. But this is what he's talking about here. The best of them, verse 4, the best of them is as a briar. The most upright is sharper than a thorn hedge. The day of thy watchman and thy visitation cometh. Now shall be their perplexity. So he's saying even the best of them they're really sharp. They're smart. They're not, but they're thorny. They're prick. Like they will cut you. Okay. Verse 5. Trust ye not in a friend. Put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. So he's saying here, don't trust, don't put all your trust in people. Keep the doors of your mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. In other words, don't tell your life story to everybody you come in contact with, because not everybody has good intentions. Verse 6, for the son dishonoreth the father, the daughter riseth up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's enemies are the men of his own house. This is talking about how people within families are just don't care about each other anymore. Unfortunately, I have actually experienced this myself with my own family. A little bit. So, alright. So you can see what he's saying. Alright. Then he says, verse 7, therefore. Now, it's one of those beginning words like I was talking about a couple of days ago. Because of all this evil, therefore, I will look unto the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall rise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be light unto me. So, even though Micah's going through these, he's talking about the condition of the nation of Israel at this time. He says, because of all that, I'm going to look to the Lord. that's all the more reason to look to God and wait on Him and let Him lead. And, it goes on and talk about that some more. But if you skip over to verse 18, this is why we're going to trust in God, okay? Who is a God like unto thee, that pardoneth iniquity, and passeth by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? He retaineth not, or he doesn't keep his anger forever, because he delights in mercy. He pardons our sins. He forgives our sins. He passes by the, he looks away from the transgression of the remnant of his heritage. And he doesn't keep his anger forever because he delights in mercy. Verse 19, he will turn again. He will turn again. He will have compassion upon us. He will subdue our iniquities. And thou wilt cast all their sins into the depths of the sea. This is why we trust in God. This is why we wait on God. Because He's the only one that can pardon and change any person, any city, any nation. Doesn't matter. Any people. He's the only one that can do it. So today, I want us to concentrate on verse 7. Micah 7:7. Therefore, I will look unto the Lord. I will wait for the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Get in touch with God today. It is Sunday. It is the Lord's Day. I hope that you will be in your local church. For us around where I live, our church today is starting our kickoff for a revival. If you remember that, just say a prayer for those of us in the revival services, that we can experience revival not only in our own individual hearts, but also in our church, in our community, in our state, in our government. Pray that the Lord will move mightily across us this morning and this week as we go through our revival meetings, okay? I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.